Hello YouTube, Arizona Paintball Player here. Today I'm going to be doing a maintenance video for how to maintenance your Invert Mini, and basically relube it, take any parts you need to, say if you got hit in the gun or something like that, to clean it out. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the bolt out. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Okay. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your 9/64 Allen key, and you're going to want to undo this Allen screw in the back here, and once you press in on the bolt with your finger, you can pretty much take these out once you get the first initial turn. And take that screw out, set that to the side somewhere safe, and then the bolt will come out. Well, there you go. I'll show you later, pop out like that. Now the whole bolt assembly came apart, so we're going to go ahead and set the gun aside for right now. Now the parts you have here, you're going to have your bolt spring, which is right here, your bolt, and then your bolt guide. Now we're going to go a little bit more in depth in here. You don't have to do this every time you relube it, but it doesn't hurt to do it, say like every 10 cases of paint or so. Maybe a little bit less, just depends on how fanatic you are on doing stuff like that. So to take out the poppet in here, you're going to have to take your, I believe this is the 1/4 Allen key, and you're going to take and stick it in the velocity adjuster. Now once you do this, you will have to reset your velocity and re-chrono your gun. But other than that, you just unscrew this, take the back cap out of the gun here. Excuse me, not necessarily the back cap section here. Then inside you have the poppet. Now sometimes it'll come out easily. Other times you might have to take an Allen key and very gently go down the thing and press it out. And then you'll have your poppet. Now to maintain this, you're going to want to take your, just going to kind of start back here, and take your poppet, take a rag, and just get all the excess lube off of it, clean up nice. You're going to do that with all your parts that have the O-rings on them. Right here. Now I am using an old t-shirt. You can use your microfibers or whatever you have. Just happen to have this laying around, a little bit easier to wash, and I use my microfibers most generally, but they are dirty right now. So you're going to clean all the excess lube off, take everything like that. Then you're going to take and wipe off your spring as well. Okay, next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your lube. I use Hater Sauce. You can use whatever you want to on them. First thing we're going to do is we're going to relube the O-ring on the poppet. So that O-ring right around the top right there. Just going to take a simple amount of lube, put that on there. Just get it all nice and greased. But if you have a little bit of excess, just rub it all on the thing itself. Put a little on the seal thing right there. And then once that's done, make sure that you have enough, but if it's just gobs on there, you're going to want to take any excess off that you just can basically see that is laying on the bolt or sticking up over the edge. You know, just however you feel is enough, but not to where you're going to have just clumps of it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to simply stick this in here for now, after we've gotten it lubed up. And stick your finger down, push it in, there you go. Now you're going to take your back cap here, and there is one little seal on there, and you're going to want to put a little bit of lube on that, just right in here, but just put a little bit on here, and then take and put that back in your bolt guide. Stick Get in there, take your Allen key, and screw it back in. Like so. And you want to screw it in all the way till it stops. And then you could probably back it out probably about a turn. That's all I'd go with. And then your velocity will be probably a little bit low, but you don't want to turn it any more than that until you're out there chronoing it. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to lube all the O-rings on here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And I'm going to do that real fast here. Just put your lube on those. Like so. Now, you want to make sure the part right here on where the bolt slides over has some on there just to keep it slick so you're not going to get bolt wear and such. And I'm trying to keep this in the video. This is my first maintenance video, so excuse the moving everywhere. And I somehow got hairs in this, not hairs, fuzzies. Anyways, get that all nice and lubed. A little bit more. Okay, move on to the next ones. Like this. And so on. It has, comparing this to a G3 for maintenance, G3 is a little more easy. The G3 only has 4 O-rings, 3 O-rings, compared to the Mini's 10, I think. But they are not hard to get to. Now, I had a PMR, I sold it recently, but I had it, and that thing was a pain because you had O-rings inside and O-rings inside the bolt and stuff like that, where you couldn't hardly get to them. And it made it extremely difficult to lube, and was quite a pain. But the Mini has very straightforward, just what you see, you lube up, and you want to make sure that the areas that have moving parts on them are lubed up as well. And I am sorry for taking so long, and I'm having to pick out hairs, little fuzzes off this blanket I'm using here. Okay. Now, what I would suggest is once you've lubed up a part, set it on something hard and set it there and set that part to the side. Now, the next thing we're going to do is going to take a bolt, the 2 O-rings on the bolt, the actual bolt, and lube those up. And I'm going to try to go faster on this because my video is already getting lengthy and I haven't gotten to the other parts of the gun yet. Like that, and put a little bit of, basically just on the bolt itself, kind of lube that up to where it's slick and you're not going to get wear from the spring. Okay, and set that. I like to put a little bit on the spring just to, again, make it to where it slides more easily on the bolt, you don't get any bolt wear, and a little bit on the outside. And we're going to set that to the side as well. Now I'm going to wipe off my hands here. We're going to take apart the rest of the gun and then install the freshly lubed stuff in just a second. Okay, now the next part, we're going to zoom the camera out a little. There we go. My hands are still greasy. Now we're going to take the gun and we're just going to basically break it down to the body, the forward grip, the trigger frame, and take the trigger off. So, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your smallest Allen key, which I do not available. That would be, I believe, the .05 one. And you're going to want to tip your gun, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. Zoom in quite a bit here. These 2 Allen holes right here, you're going to basically undo them once. And I am wrong, I'm sorry, it is the 1/16 Allen wrench. going to stick them in there and basically undo it one turn. And do each of those. If I can handle my, like so, and I'm tilting it too much. There we go. Okay. Now you can just simply slide that off. Back a little bit. Okay, there's your grip frame, or excuse me, your forward grip. Now the next thing we're gonna do is take out this Allen screw right here and take the trigger frame off. Again, you're going to be using the 9/64 Allen key. I'm tightening it, and then you can do it with your fingers. And set the screw to the side, and then you can simply pull the body out. Now you're going to want to be careful with this. Just simply pull it slightly. Okay. Now here is your trigger frame. See the trigger inside. We'll take the grips off in a second. And then you have the body. Now this is all the further we're going to go with the body. As you can see straight through there. We can take the eye covers off, which uses again the 3/32 or 5/64, excuse me. Undo the detent right there. Go ahead and do that to the other side. So, okay. So now you can see through that. Now this here is your top transfer line. That is where the air actually goes through. It's right here from the grip, and then this is your solenoid right here. Now I'm not going to maintenance the solenoid or the regulator due to the fact that it is pretty intricate. If you don't put it exactly right, you can blow them, stuff like that. And it's not necessarily like an explosion, but it just, once you've blown a solenoid, you can't really, you're gonna have to take and buy a new one, or hopefully someone knows how to fix the more intricate parts. So I basically would take it to my pro shop to have them do that, or the same way with the regulator, or send it into Empire. So there's that. Now the board, the eye circuit board is in here, but you shouldn't need to take that out anytime unless your eyes are bad. So there's the body. Grip frame, simply going to take again your 5/64 Allen key and undo the grips. And this is basically just to clean it. There's nothing inside here hardly at all. Go. As you can see, there's the bottom line, bottom of the air transfer tube, and that's everything that's in there. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and put everything back together, starting with the grips, kind of just screwing back in. Sometimes the grips can be easy, just depends on your gun. Mine are not. They seem to be either a little bit too long, or excuse me, too short. The grips themselves are, so you kind of just stretch them a little bit. And this is the one that's always fun. Go ahead and that in. There we go. And put those back. Now we're gonna take and put the detents back in the body. So just take your detent after you've cleaned them and simply screw them in. Make sure not to cross thread it. And take your Allen key. You're gonna want to make sure these are snug. just for the fact that you don't want them coming out while you play. Do the same to this side. Like such. Okay. Now, next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your trigger frame and your body back together. So you're going to flip it around. You're going to take your trigger frame, pull the trigger back, and simply slide this. I'm going to try to show you here. You're going to want to make sure your transfer tube is in the right area and gently slide it back down in. Make sure you've had the trigger pulled. You push it together. Then you're going to take your forward grip screw, or excuse me, frame screw here, stick it back in like that, and tighten it with your 9/64. Make sure it's nice and tight. Then you're going to want to put your forward grip on, and also you can take the battery compartment. Take this screw right here with your, again, your 5/64. Just take that screw out, and you've got your battery and your board. I have a video up if you're interested in knowing how to change the modes and stuff. I have that video up using my other gun. But now you're going to stick this back on. You're simply going to stick it on the rail right here. Stick it on that rail and slide it up, and make sure the prongs go in to the board up top. Simply slide it in. Make sure it's all the way up. I like flipping this upside down to do this part, or like so. Try to show you guys again. And then taking your 1/16 and tightening the screws right here. And again. I am not. There we go. Okay. Now, the last thing you're going to do, put your bolt back in. So you're going to take your bolt right here and get a little bit of the excess lube off real fast. Now, your bolt spring is double, the ends are different. If this end goes on and doesn't latch, then you have to flip it around, stick it on, and let it click. And you're simply going to stick that in the back of the bolt guide. Then you're going to take the bolt guide here, stick it in the back, and you're going to want to make sure that hole right, I'm not being able to show it here, right here, lines up with the pin in the back, right here. Stick it in. If it's not right, simply turn the bolt around until you get it. And I missed it, there it is. You're going to want to press that in, and then you're going to want to take your second screw, your last screw, put it in there, hand tighten it, and then take your 9/64 and simply tighten it down snug. And there you go, and your Mini is put back together. If you want to make sure that the board and stuff is still working, you can turn it on like so, and as you can hear, it still works. So that is how you maintain your Invert Mini and take it apart. If you have any more questions or any more video ideas, please let me know, and I will definitely try to get those up for you. Thanks again.